Alright guys, it is May 24th, Saturday, and what we're going to be doing is attempting to change the belts on the Cosmo. I've got 3 out of the 4 belts. The main one that goes to the alternator, let me show you real quickly. So there are 4 belts. Yeah, amazingly enough, there's 4 of them. I'm going to assume this hydraulic hood prop is stock, and surprisingly enough, it's held up all this time. But anyway, so there are 4 belts. This is probably not good lighting, so let me get some lighting. I think where it was probably better. So, the furthest or the closest to the fan or to the front of the car is the one that runs to the power steering, and then the next one is the AC and the air pump for third, and the main alternator, main to the alternator, and the water pump is the last. So there's 4 of them running, each on its own, except for the main one. I think this is maybe 6 rib. I'll put all the stock part numbers for the belts on the description, so you guys can kind of use them as reference. But as you guys can tell, this is on its way out, so you guys can see the actual rib showing on the opposite end. Typically they're pretty smooth, right? I mean, I would guess that they are, but not necessarily in that condition, so I'm afraid this is going to snap soon. So and I guess there's a sequence to this where I have to do the outermost part first, which is the power steering, and you have the idler adjustment pulley right here, which swings, well, not swings, it goes up and down this way. You just got to loosen this bolt. Same goes for the air conditioner. That's the idler pulley right there. And for the air pump, it's at the bottom. So if you guys can see it, maybe I can swing the or I can move the camera further down so you guys can see, and I'll just pause it and point to it. Let me see if I can get all the way down there. If you guys can see that, I'll go lower. Hopefully I don't drop the phone. So that's it right there. And of course this guy right here to adjust the alternator. It goes up and down. So the problem that I have is that I was only able to get 3 out of the 4. So of course it's the one to the alternator and the water pump that I cannot get. It's NLA, no longer available. And I tried Japan, I tried Australia, none of them have it. I tried contacting some folks that were selling Cosmo specific parts in Australia and in Japan. None of them seem to have this readily available. I think they said that they're out a month or 2 months out, and I need to get this car up and running because I am taking this car to the Dragon this year, this October. We've already rented a cabin. I'm going to document that as well. Hopefully you guys can stick around for that. And we have about maybe 9 guys, I think. I forget. and they're gonna be bringing their own respective cars. S2000, the brand new Civic, or is it Integra Type R? I forget. We have a Q60, we have a Supra, or the R33 GTR, of which I had. Jordan bought. He should have that ready to go by then, and among other cars. I think we have a GTI as well coming, yeah. So I gotta get this guy roadworthy to be able to make that trip. The first thing I need to do is, of course, the belts, like I am planning on changing today. So the plan is to be able to get the this belt. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it, go to the parts store to see if I have anything equivalent with the same length, and replace it that way. Otherwise, I am going to be forced to have to wait those 1 to 2 months, if they can even get those. And okay, well, I guess let's get started. I'm going to see if I can try and capture as much as I can on how I adjust these out so that I can pull the belts out. Or, I mean, I can take the easier route, of course, and just cut them. But I'm going to need to eventually move those adjustments anyway to put on the belts. So, okay, this is the attempt to get this thing done today. Okay, the first one is going to be 17 mil. I thought this thing was going to fight me, but surprisingly it came up easy. So there is a big washer here that goes between the pulley and the pulley bracket, and you get this nut here. So we'll set these two aside. Hopefully this one doesn't, I'll take it out because I'm afraid it might just fall underneath. So just to note that the flat side of the washer is against the bracket. Then remove the belt. Should be easy. And how we're gonna get through this is to, no, actually, okay, so this is not on the water pump, which connects to the fan, but the ones that are on the water pump, you're gonna have to loop it around the fan to get it out. But so this one's out. This actually looks still pretty good. So, but if I'm changing one, I might as well change all anyway. So that one's out. Okay, so the next one is going to be the AC, and that's this one right here at the bottom. And I believe it is also 17. Okay, spoke too soon. This one's fighting me. I can do it this way. Pull that washer, and it goes the same way, the flat part towards the bracket and the raised one to the pulley. Remove the belt. I'm gonna need a little bit of slide that out of the way. This one still looks good too. I think I should be able to see it better now. Okay, so that's what she looks like. And what I was talking about earlier as far as looping it over the fan is the fact that the next two belts, which is the one that goes to the air pump, one you see with yellow, that one, yeah, so I'm gonna need to loop it over the fan. So that adjustment is all the way at the bottom there. You might want to be careful with these connectors. You don't want to ruin them. I doubt these are going to be, well, they might be available, but you don't want to end up having to deal with having to splice connectors just because you messed up. So removing this, see if I can get better access. And if I cannot, I'll remove the airbox entirely so that I can get to it. And to remove the airbox, you need to unclip this, remove this hose out of the airbox, and there's another hose down here that connects to the air pump. I'll pause the video again so that I can point to it. And the mounting point for the airbox. And come to think of it, the airbox or the air filter is another item that I need to replace. I doubt that that's also going to be available. Okay, so that's, looks like it's better access. I probably won't need to remove the airbox, but just so that I can, let me get a pointer, that would help. So this bolt, I would assume, needs to be loosened. That's the lock to keep this in place, and this would be the adjustment to actuate it this way so that the air pump can move. Make sure you loosen that. I would tend to think that this would need to be loose so that this thing can swing down or swing that way. So I think you have this much room to play to be able to get this belt out, and then loop it over the fan. All right, I'll give that a go. So the air pump is now loose. So now I can push it this way so that I get more room to be able to pull this belt out and then snake it, loop it out of the fan. See if I can hold the camera at the same time while doing this. I think I might need more slack maybe. Nope. Okay, now that I have it out, just get it off of the main, and then somehow loop this over the fan. And I think I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. So I'm gonna drop the phone. Well, actually, probably not. I just keep doing this and just spinning the fan. I need to be careful of this. To be careful that I don't destroy the fan, because it's 30-year-old plastic. There we go. And this also appears to also look good. So the one with the 3 ribs, or is that 1? I never can tell if you count the outside, or is it just 1 rib on the inside? I don't know, but anyway, it's the ribbed one that goes to the air pump. I'm gonna put a rag I don't want anything crawling up in there. I do have field mice and little chipmunks, so I don't want it crawling in there. And me trapping it when I put everything back together. Okay, so time for the alternator. And I don't know quite what this black soot is. I believe it's rubber. Oh no, it's carbon. Not sure what that is. Let's see if I can vacuum that out. But anyway, alternator next. Let me put this camera back where I had it. And I believe that's a 10 or 12. So that's the lock, and that's to adjust it to go up and down. So it is probably 12. Yep. That's loose. Now I just gotta go. I gotta figure out which way it comes down to loosen it. And I guess I would need to loosen this up too, to be able to actuate this. So, and I think, is this a 12? It is not. That's going to be probably a 14. And it is. Okay, all done. Got the belt out. So now it's the reversal of how you put it back in. Yeah. It's on its way out. The deal is now to go to the parts store, see if I can get this. Hopefully the same length. Anyway, all right guys, I just wanted to document this for you. Don't forget to put the connectors back if you removed any of these to the coolant. And for the air box, make sure you put that back. Make sure you put everything back where they belong. Get the tools out, and don't close the hood until you've inspected everything. So anyway, that's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions, comment down below. I'll see what I can do to help. But otherwise, next thing to do is get that air filter and do the plugs, the plug wires if I can find those, a fuel pump, and maybe just get the injectors cleaned if those aren't readily available. And one of the things that I actually tried to decide on whether or not I was going to do while I was doing this belt exercise was to remove the air pump. But I don't have the necessary block off plates, and I don't know what that's going to do to the ECU, the stock ECU. So I don't have an aftermarket ECU to control this car just yet, because I don't know what's available. But yeah, I got to do some research. So it would be nice to get rid of the air pump, because I no longer need it for the state. I don't need emissions to pass an antique car. It'll also clear up some room there, allow the turbos to breathe a little bit better, less vacuum hoses to deal with underneath the car, increase the volume of air that circulates around there for better cooling. So there's a lot of advantages of getting rid of that, although she will stink just as bad as DFD by removing that. But anyway, it's going to allow me to run also a straight pipe if I wanted to, because I don't have the secondary air pipe that goes to the cat, that feeds the cat. So, but yeah, okay. Well, anyway, catch you guys on the next post, and hopefully I can get the suspension dialed in, or ordered, I should say, then dialed in, because as you guys can see, the gap is 3 fingers on the rear and 2 fingers on the, no, actually three fingers on the front and 2 fingers on the rear. I don't know what I just said. I was concentrating too much on sticking my fingers in there. So while tidying up, this is one thing I noticed which I didn't see until just now. See something wrong there? If this had gotten to the fan or any of the belts, that'd have been screwed. What the? I didn't inspect the car well enough when I bought it. Good going, 3GP. Yeah, smart move. Lucky it looks like the AC line prevented it from going any further, so kind of lucked out on that. Yeah.